Hello, everyone. Welcome to Negawa Shamanism. Now, tonight, I had a very inspirational idea, okay? Well, today. And so I am deciding to kind of try it out to see how this goes. And if everybody likes it, I might make another channel dedicated just to doing this as well. So, as adults, kids, doesn't matter. We all like a good story, right? I am an intuitive card reader. So, I decided to make a series that I like to call Once Upon a Divine. And it is the fairy tale oracle stories, okay? So I pulled some cards that are quite a few different decks, okay? And they are all going to make up a story for you. So I hope this is for all ages. Does not matter how old you are, that you enjoy my story, okay? All right. So, long ago, once upon a time, by the sacred waters, there was an empress who lived on the seashore. Now, she had been in a point in her life where friends, family, and otherwise have scarred her very deeply. She was in a very horrible place emotionally. Well, this was because no matter what she did or said, no matter what ideas she had, people would try to tell her that she was crazy, that they were horrible, that she was not a creator, that she was not divine, is what they would tell her, right? And what they would do is turn around and they would take her ideas from her without her knowing. Little did she know that she was an inspiration to many. She was a trustworthy person, and she actually had so much confidence that she felt as if she lacked. There was a beautiful light within this empress that everybody hid from her, so even she didn't see it, but everyone else around her did. Now, the empress had lived a life of poverty. She didn't have much. She didn't know much as far as finances went, the lavish life. And because of that, she lived very humbly. She worked very hard, but no matter how hard she worked, nothing seemed to come into fruition for her. But she knew that she was destined for a life of greatness, for a life of abundance, for a life of happiness and love, which she had never gotten before. She was an empath. She had a lot of very special spiritual gifts that she was aware of, but she doubted herself. She was kind, a beautiful person, heart, soul, and physically, and loved to help others. That was what made her feel good. But she felt that there was no room to grow where she was, around the people that she was around, because they made her feel like she had no power. They made her feel like she was nothing. They made her feel very sad, very worthless, and because of that, she didn't realize that she was a goddess of the moon. She didn't speak up much. She was a very quiet person, kept to herself. But little did she know that most people knew who she was, but not only was she a mystery to herself, but a mystery to them as well. She was a child of Mother Earth, deeply rooted. She had strength of 1,000 men. She knew that she had to grow in many ways to find the stability that she needed. And she knew that she had to find her fearless heart of a dragon, that she had to say goodbye to the people and the life that she knew, and end these things to begin her real, true journey. She had lived a life crying many tears of sadness, endless regrets of the things that she never did because she was too scared, regretting all the people that she was around that were obsessive, replaying her past in her head and having moments of, what if I would have done that? But she knew now was the time to find her courage, because courage was what was going to get her through all these towers, these trials, these tribulations. They were going to make her her. They were going to allow her to live her life. And she knew that would require a lot of change, a lot of forward movement, a lot of creativity. And she couldn't deny that, because it stared her in the face every time she looked in the mirror, and every time that she tried to make life better, and it just wouldn't get there. She knew that she was put here to heal others. She knew that she was put here to create, to make people smile and laugh. But because of the way that she was always treated, she stayed in a state of confusion for so long that she sat and thought to herself, how could she ever make people see her as love, as light, as an inspiration, someone to listen to? She had to expand her mind and reach for the stars. She had to be fearless. She had to go for what she needed to go for, because she was a main female. She was a matriarch, though so young. But these people from her past had done so much to take her innocence, to take her love, to try to keep her stuck, feeling that she was so small when she was actually somebody in something so big. The manipulation, the lies, the slyness of the foxes around her, had her wondering, who is it that I can really trust? Can I trust myself? Do I trust these people? And her ancestors came down one day and said, I'll show you who to trust. She met a lot of people that were conniving, that were snake-like, that did what they could to poison her mind, poison her creativity, to smile in her face but wear a mask. These friends and family kept the Empress in grief. Why me? She would say every day, why me? I'm so honest. And then one day she thought, but are these people honest with me? Are they being honest to me? She knew that she needed to fix her self-esteem, because everyone around her had torn it down. She had lost her passion for creating, for healing, for helping, for love, for life. But the Empress had to remember who she was, so that she could finally find her true path and go on her real journey. Because her journey was to create, to bring love, to heal, to bloom in the world. As she sat there thinking this in despair, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? But the people she was around had other plans. They were up to no good. They didn't want her to spread her wings and fly. They didn't want her to have freedom. They wanted her to be reckless, because at a time she was reckless. She had no self-confidence. She didn't care. She didn't see who she really was. She didn't value herself. And if they could keep the Empress there, she would never know her true potential. But she thought to herself, if I let go of all of that and take the leap of faith, I could be independent and free. I could create as I want. I could live as I want, do as I want. So the time came, she decided to be the queen that she was always meant to be, to become a leader, a goddess of love, fierce with a lion heart, to find her peace, and not only hers, because she was never a selfish person, but to bring peace to the world as well. No one wanted to show her gratitude or show her love that she deserved. This peace, this balance, everything had to be chaotic for her, because if not, she would reach her full potential. And they didn't want that. So they tried to keep her locked up with no freedom, with no nothing, except for what they wanted to give her. But she wanted to embrace her beauty. She wanted to find a real place to call home, a real friendship, real love, real family. She wanted to be creative and bring beautiful things into the world so that everybody could enjoy them and feel happy. But she had many people that she collaborated with along her journey of life so far, that no matter how much love and healing and light she poured into their cup, they just drank the cup and left her well dry and tried to block her pathway. And at times she sat and thought to herself, maybe I'm not special. Maybe I don't have a pathway. At one time, creativity flowed so easy for her. She was very smart, very fierce, very fearless, did things with speed, in abundance, with wit, with charm. But she didn't know if she could do that anymore because she had no confidence left in herself. Unbeknownst to her, she had a loyal guardian by her side, a magical protector. And though she was scared and she felt alone, she wasn't. But she wasn't aware of that yet. She didn't know. She always thought she was alone. But there's a plot twist. Things that she never saw coming, a purity that she never saw coming, friendships that she never saw coming, and a love that she never saw coming would soon come to her. As she started to realize this, her ancestors came to her and told her, you need to have discipline. You need to be strong in these times of trials and tribulations because you, Empress, are being tested. The Empress was always one to bring humor and light into situations, so her ancestor continues to tell her, you must bring the humor and light back into your life. You must be the love, and love will come to you, is what she was told. So she decided, as she felt the magic come over her, once again, she knew, she remembered, like it just bloomed in her brain, that she was the one who could allow these miracles, have this faith, and change this story, because she had not only the magic, but the knowledge and the power as well. She had to accept that Not all things can be seen, and the best things are not seen but felt by the soul and heart. And she knew in her soul and heart that her ancestors were right, that it was her time to shine, that she had to be queen, she had to be fierce, she had to take her place upon her throne. But little did she know that there was a mature man that would come into her life to help her do that. Of course, she never expected that. She'd only had people that had taken from her, that had stolen from her, that had blocked her from the gates of heaven and love and prosperity and abundance, taken away her power, but in fairness, she handed it to them. So she decided that she was going to walk through the dark gates, and she was going to walk through all the demons, battling them, trials and tribulations, whether she felt alone or not, whether she was or not, and have blind faith. Because if she didn't, she was stuck in this life of misery with people that didn't appreciate her, that didn't love her. And as she got a sense of fear, her familiar, the wolf, her spirit guide, came to her and whispered, "I will be here watching over you." And he protected her fiercely because he knew that she would encounter many witches and warlocks along her path who tried to not only take her gifts, but her freedom and her light, her soul. These people wanted her to feel lonely and lost. And at times along the journey she did, it was a very dark path. But she refused to surrender. The only thing she surrendered to was the divine, was God. And with no doubt in her mind, she continued down this dark path, not even knowing if she would ever get out, not knowing if there was light at the end of the tunnel. But she understood the concept. She understood why she had to make this journey, why she had to pass through all these people, these evil deities. Because she was the bringer of compassion. Along her way, she even tried to heal some of these hurt deities. And being unsuccessful to some and successful to others, it eventually became time for her to go and keep moving along her path. And even when people tried to completely tear her to shreds, and deities tried to tear her to shreds, manipulate her, steal from her, lie to her, hurt her, she withstood it all. She kept herself balanced. She kept moving because she knew that at the end of this road, this journey, her hard work and labor would pay off. She had almost forgotten how grounded and rooted she was in the first place before all these people had hurt her in the very beginning, and didn't realize until partway through that journey, almost to the end of the dark forest, that she had these hidden talents, that she was able to blend in with these deities and keep herself safe, camouflaged. And she had this hidden courage and strength, this hidden knowledge. She was a phoenix. At times, she thought she was going to quit. She thought she was finished. She thought she was done. And every time that she thought she was, this burst of love and light and divinity came over her as she hopped back onto her feet and continued on her journey walking, because nobody and nothing could stop her. As the birds guided her and helped her, all of her familiars along her path, to get to the other side of the light from this darkness. She had a mighty shield, and that mighty shield was God, her ancestors, the divine. So no matter who envied her and tried to hurt her or take her down or stop her, no matter who tried to blame her, talk down on her, shame her, or make her feel bad, she picked herself back up and remembered who she was. And she was proud of herself. She became aware of who she truly was and the power she held. And then, in an instant, she stops and stares off into the distance, having a vision, and realizes that not only life is full of miracles and God brings miracles, but she was a miracle all in her own, a master of self, a child of the earth, deeply rooted to God, the angels, also walking this road, thinking of the fact that she had children, and she told herself, I need to show my children a clear message to be strong, to be who you are, to never let people do to you what they've done to me, is what she said as she kept pushing on. She was a child of the divine, a mother, a nurturer, an earth angel, a creator, a child of the cosmos and the stars, not of this planet. And she had to remember that throughout her journey, so she didn't spiral out of control back into the darkness. She learned a lot of new things along her journey about who she was, her ability to be a warrior, her ability to do things at maximum speed, to fly above heights she had never seen or known before, to transform in phenomenal ways, and to always be a surprise to the enemies. This earth angel was magical. She also had the gift of sacred sight and knowledge as well. The more she walked down this dark path, the more her imagination flourished, the more creative she became. And because of this, she continued to unlock gifts and made sure to persevere and push on no matter what happened, because she was determined to live a life of financial, spiritual, and emotional abundance, love, and happiness, because she deserved that. She was a person of authority, and she executed that authority very well. A child of the earth, connected not only to animals and Gaia, but nature. She was also deeply connected to this physical world, the moon and the stars. This was her initiation into the spiritual realm, into her position, because she was always in getting ready to become an official person. Lo and behold, one day her ancestors came to her in a dream, letting her know that she would be meeting a king, a wealthy man. Now the Empress had always dreamed of having a family, a real family, having real love, real friendships. So when her ancestors told her that this is what was going to happen, she was overjoyed, exploding with sparks of excitement. As she approached the doorway in the spring, at the end of spring, bruised and battered, but still strong, getting ready to turn that knob, to walk out of the darkness of the dark forest into light that she has fought so many battles and so hard to get to. She comes to the end of her journey, and she is elated, excited, smile on her face, bruises everywhere, a little dirty, but she was used to that. She sat and thought to herself, oh my gosh, I'm so lucky. I'm lucky I had God and my angels and ancestors and these hidden helpers along the way, these mystical creatures, these magicians, these mystical people that I didn't even know were there, but I know they're there, even though I can't see them, is what she thought to herself. I'm so blessed. Thank you, God, she said, for letting me rediscover who I was, for letting me open the door and helping me obtain the key to get my dragon heart. As she put her hand on the door to open it, she wondered, is this just fake? Are there going to be more masked people behind this door? Is this going to be a safe place for me to go? Did I walk through this dark forest just to end up not earning my angel wings? She wanted those wings so bad. She wanted her crown, her Empress crown, because she well deserved it. She wondered and hesitated. If I do find this man, is he going to be like every other person? Are all my friends and family there going to treat me horribly? Was all of this for nothing? She asked herself, hesitating to turn the doorknob and open the door. And as she did, her ancestor came down and reassured her again. This is where balance is. You have worked hard, you have fought hard, and you have walked many miles. You are getting what you deserve. You are getting what you asked for. You did what was asked of you. So now you will receive awards. You did not allow any of the demons to scare you off your path. You did not step down from any battle or challenge. You have changed your outlook and healed people along your way, even at times when you felt they didn't deserve it. And because of that, you will be rewarded. Your time on this journey of darkness and evil is over. is what the Empress heard. So she decided, I'm going to turn the doorknob. I'm going to not be scared for once. And I'm going to blindly jump into this door and trust that everything I was told by people I couldn't see is the truth. What else do I have to lose if I don't open the door? I stay in darkness. At least there's a chance, a good chance, and she could feel it in her soul that it was going to be nothing but light on the other side. So as she opened the door, the smoke cleared. The trees were vibrant. The grass was beautiful. There was nothing but happiness there, and she could even feel it. And there stood the most handsome man, telling her, I waited for you. I knew you would get here eventually. And she smiled because she knew that that was the man that she had been told about. Not long after, they had ended up getting married, which was one of the things that she had wanted most in her life. They had a beautiful family. They were both of high honor and brought great fortune, brought gold, light, and love into the world, into their family and themselves. And as she sat back, months later, looking at her life, reminiscing on everything she had gone through, seeing what she had gotten in return, she thought to herself, I really am a privileged lady. I really am of high honor. And I'm so glad I took that journey and walked through that darkness. Because if I would have never walked through all of that darkness, I would have never found my perfect life. Okay, everybody. It was a rough start. Do know that I actually do not script these, as you can see. I intuitively read these through the cards. So that was my intuitive freestyle story. I hope you all really enjoyed that. Obviously, for kids that can understand it, even for ones that can't, it is what it is. Show them. It's cool. It's nice to know, to escape from reality, excuse me. And it is nice to hear happy endings, because in life, a lot of times, some of us don't get very happy endings, okay? I hope you enjoyed my story. There will definitely be more to come. And I super enjoy these. So, peace, love, and light, and have a good night.